Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes discussion video. Today we'll be talking about the upcoming 3.5 anniversary celebration. Well, more specifically, we'll be talking about which characters have what it takes to be the new Muso Grade unit that is expected to be released during this event. I'll have another video out later that will explore what else I think we can expect from the 3.5 anniversary, but for now, we'll be trying to figure out which character will be the main centerpiece and selling point for this celebration. But before we start, please leave a comment on who you think the Muso character will be for this event. Now let's get into it. For those who don't know, Muso is the highest grade of character in Jumputi Heroes. There are currently only 4 grades in the game: Event Grade, which is for free-to-play characters, Hero Grade, which is for standard gacha characters, Limited Grade, which is for legendary heroes, and they can normally be obtained for 8,250 rubies upon their initial release, and finally, Muso Grade, which is what we're talking about today, and that is reserved for unparalleled heroes. They can normally be obtained for 24,000 rubies upon their initial release. The devs have stated that, at least to begin with, we can expect 2 new Muso characters each year. Our first Muso character was Hashirama Senju from Naruto, who was introduced alongside Madara Uchiha during the 2.5 anniversary celebration. And our second Muso was Super Vegito from Dragon Ball, who was introduced alongside Buu during the 3rd anniversary celebration. While unlikely, there is a small possibility that we may not get a Muso for this event. I can't necessarily foresee that being the case because I think 1 new Muso every 6 months is a pretty good release schedule, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it hasn't been officially confirmed that a Muso will definitely be coming during this celebration. It's only been speculation so far. So before we start talking about character choices, it should be worth mentioning that we have seen some small sneak peeks of the next event, including what appears to be the event theme. This ticket you see on the screen now is the Jumputi Love Thanksgiving ticket. Now, we've seen tickets similar to these Thanksgiving tickets in past campaigns. You get a large number of the tickets from login and from missions, and the banner for the ticket will normally have loads of different 5-star characters and limited characters and stuff available on it. But this particular ticket has the word love on it, so we'll be taking that into consideration when making our predictions for this event, as we currently believe that that will be the event theme. Now let's take a look at some of the most popular candidates for the position of Muso during this event. To start with, I want to review the results of the Super Summer survey, which I held on Twitter, trying to find out what our little community's opinion is on what we could potentially be seeing from the game in the future. In one of the questions, I asked who people wanted to see as a Muso character in the future. Obviously, we only had a small sample size to work with compared with the sort of feedback that the actual dev team will get, but it will at least give us an idea of what people currently might be thinking in regards to who deserves this role in the game. In our survey, in joint 6th place, we had Aeolus from Saint Seiya, United States of Smash All Might from My Hero Academia, Najimi Ajimu from Medaka Box, and Sosuke Aizen from the 1000-Year Blood War arc of Bleach. From these 4, I think I have to remove Aizen straight away. This doesn't appear to be a Dark Heroes event, and he's pretty far away from the theme in general, so I can't see how he would fit as the Muso in the 3.5 celebration. Unfortunately, I'll have to remove Ajimu from consideration as well. Medaka Box hasn't had any content since 2018 and has no limiteds whatsoever so far. I highly doubt that our first Medaka Box content in 3 years will be a Muso Grade unit. Aeolus is a bit of an interesting one. Definitely something I could see happening on the Tier 1 version. Some people might say it's a bit less likely to happen on the Japan version, but he does have the potential, I believe. In terms of fitting the theme, I mean, he died protecting the baby Athena, and also, Even though he was strong enough to defend himself, he chose not to fight back against the people that were attacking him because they were his comrades who had been sort of manipulated by Saga. So he didn't want to harm them, and that is the reason that he died protecting Athena. So in my opinion, I mean, if you're talking about love, he definitely does fit the theme to an extent. A pretty solid argument can definitely be made for All Might too. I mean, he gave everything he had to protect everybody from All For One, so it could be seen as an act of love or compassion. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but there's also the ties with his mentor, which if you go back and you watch that fight between All Might and All For One, there's the little flashbacks to his personal story of becoming a hero. And I think that definitely does have some legs to it. Maybe he won't come for this event. It's very possible that they wouldn't want a version 2 character appearing as a Muso within the first batch, but I certainly expect he'll appear as a Muso at some point. Next up, in positions 5 to 3, we had Gin Freaks from Hunter x Hunter, Pharaoh Atom from Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. For a long time, Gin Freaks has been considered one of the top candidates to be a Muso, but if the theme is love, there's just no way they can put this bozo in the game. He's a deadbeat dad, and he's just a complete arse, so I don't really know how he'd fit the theme, and I'm not even going to try. Pharaoh Atom could be an option. I mean, I can definitely see him coming at some point for sure. Maybe not this event, because we did just get a new Atom a few months back, but I can kind of see him fitting the theme a little. If you talk about his love for his friends or his love for Yugi, I mean, there's a possibility there. And for Satoru Gojo, I don't really see it happening at all. There is clearly a reason they've held off on adding certain series to the game. Even if they do decide to add Jujutsu Kaisen during this event, and even if I do consider Gojo to be Muso worthy, I can't see them debuting the series with a Muso character. And if we were talking about the theme of love and they were going to add Jujutsu Kaisen characters, I would much rather see Yuta Okotsu instead. And for the winners of our survey, in first and second, we had Gold D. Roger from One Piece and Gold Experience Requiem Giorno Giovanna from Golden Wind. Now, Giorno doesn't fit the theme at all, I don't think. Well, except for, you know, the lack of JoJo this year has been quite surprising, so it wouldn't shock me if we were to at least get one JoJo character appearing in this event, but I don't think it's going to be Muso Giorno. And finally, we have Gold D. Roger. This man is obviously the most likely option for a One Piece Muso, and One Piece, as one of the most popular Jump series ever, still does not have a Muso character in the game, so it's difficult to rule out Roger as a genuine possibility for this event. That being said, I do feel it's a bit of a stretch to try and make him fit the theme. If anyone made sense as a potential Muso candidate from One Piece that fits the theme of love, it's gotta be Whitebeard. But we already have Whitebeard in the game. It's true we could get a version 2 of his battle at Marineford. There's definitely enough that you could change to make that a cool new character to add to the game. But maybe there's a way we can loop this back around and tie it back in with Roger. Having Roger as a Muso and having him counter a young Whitebeard as a sort of catastrophe class stage, I think would work very, very well. The only thing holding me back from saying that it will definitely be him is the fact that we know Corazon will play a role in this event, and there really isn't any correlation between the two characters. Beyond what we saw in the survey, to be honest, I was really struggling to find any characters I felt fit the theme, were Muso worthy, and I genuinely believed had a chance of being added during this event. So for me, it's got to be one of them. So all things considered, I've whittled the options down to just 2 choices. the choice that I feel is by far the most likely, and another choice that, while I think is less likely, would fit the theme a lot better. Those two choices are Goldie Roger and All Might. I can't help but feel that Roger is pretty much inevitable for this event. The devs love to give us a theme and then just stick random characters in that don't fit at all. It happens all the time. And if you wanted to make it fit, could make the catastrophe stage that Roger would be countering fit the theme instead. Roger is asking to take one of Whitebeard's beloved sons on his voyage, so the theme is still present, just not directly related to the Muso character. If they do decide to lean into the theme, I think that All Might is probably the closest option that we have. We got a lovely chapter for All Might this week in Jump, so it would be very fitting to throw back to the final battle between him and All For One just one more time. He can counter an All For One catastrophe stage, but I don't think it would be a version 2 All For One. More likely instead we would have All For One drop a different character, maybe Nana Shimura, maybe Gran Torino. I don't know who would be the best fit there. I mean, they might have plans for those other characters for some time in the future. I don't know. That and the fact that All Might would be a version 2 character debuting in the first batch of Muso characters, those are probably the key signs that he is a lot less likely than Roger. But I still think it would be very cool. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all so much for watching. I'll be seeing you again real soon with another 3.5 celebration video, so keep an eye out for that in your sub box in the coming days.